coronavirus hit. That's how my second semester ended at the University of Michigan. Hi, my name's Paulina, and I just completed my first year at the University of Michigan, so I decided that I was going to make a video reflecting on my freshman year and just giving some tips about going into college and just being a student at the University of Michigan in general.
In 1971.
Oh, that's cute. Overall, it was a really good year. Obviously, I had my ups and downs and things like that, and everyone's college experience is definitely different. But I decided that I was just going to share some of my favorite parts and then some of my least favorite parts, and then just tips for transitioning into college and how to make the best of your year. First, I also want to say that I'm studying Industrial and Operations Engineering with an international minor. I'm a first-generation college student, so that means that no one in my family has completed a college degree. Just an overview for my first year. I did some traveling. I traveled to Gujarat, India in December with a student organization, and that was for my winter break. And then in February, I went to North Carolina with my Society of Women Engineering student organization. So I'm definitely very fortunate. I did some traveling throughout my first semester, and it was all free. And then I also did some research. And then the best part about college for me was the amount of friends I was able to make from all over the world. So the classes that I ended up taking my first semester, I took 18 credits both semesters, and my first semester I took Calculus 1, General Chemistry with lab. I took an Dark Side of the Universe Astronomy class, which just talked about black holes and the expansion of the universe, and that was a lot of fun because it was a mini credit. I also took an entrepreneurship class where we had keynote speakers come in every Friday and talk about how they started their own businesses and things like that. I took a programming class where I learned MATLAB and C++. I took a ALA class which was about the success of women in STEM, and finally I took three academic credits for undergraduate research. And then moving into my second semester, I ended up taking Calculus 2. I took Engineering 100, which is just Introduction to Engineering Principles essentially. I took Physics 1 with lab, which was horrible. I took West African Dance, which is just a 1-credit dance class, which was absolutely amazing. I took the continuation of Women in STEM, and I took another 2 credits of undergraduate research. So now, moving on to some of the things I was involved with throughout the entire year was my research group. I was also involved in the Society of Women Engineers, which is just a group of women who empower each other, and we develop our professional development skills, attend conferences, talk to companies that are local, and we help organize the College of Engineering Career Fair in collaboration with some other student organizations. I was also in the Blue Lab India project, which is a group that I traveled to India with, and this is a socially engaged design team that focuses on creating sustainable projects in India. And finally, I was part of the Women in STEM residential program, which is a living community that is based in Moshe Jordan Hall. Okay, so now that you have the background of what my experience was like at the University of Michigan, I'm just going to go into some of my favorite things and some of my not so favorite things about my first semester. Okay, so my favorite parts of the University of Michigan are obviously tailgating. Football season was amazing. Obviously with tailgating there comes a lot of parties, and as I mentioned earlier, my favorite part was making friends from all over the world. I have friends in California, Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Ohio. I've met some people from France, India, Taiwan, so Canada. It's just been an amazing opportunity to be able to meet all these people from all over the world and know that if you're ever traveling somewhere, you can reach out to a friend and be able to visit them while you're traveling to some other part of the world, which is just crazy to me. Another thing that I really loved about the University of Michigan is that there are so many student orgs that you can genuinely explore all your interests. So I tried various types of dance. I tried West African dance, as I mentioned earlier. I tried swing dancing. I tried knitting, hiking. I've tried just a lot of different things, volunteering for different groups, things like that, different styles of painting. So it's just been a really amazing opportunity to be able to explore all these different things. You get to explore a lot of different museums. You get to go to a lot of different shops and restaurants, and the nightlife is amazing there. So it was really, really cool. I loved it. My last thing is that I feel like I became completely independent. Like, I definitely learned a lot more skills and a lot more of what it takes to be kind of living on your own. And even though I was living in a dorm, it was the first time that like I didn't have to text someone when I was like going out, or I didn't have to be checking in with someone, you know. So it was just really crazy. Like, it felt like a lot of responsibility at first, but it also was kind of nice to know like that you're doing things on your own and you're finally becoming an adult. So it was just a really cool experience. Moving into some of the things that were a bit harder through my first year. So definitely taking 18 credits both semester was really overwhelming, transitioning into college. Some people can handle it better than others. I do suggest that if you are taking, like, I think the amount of credits is less important, but it's more about how you pair credits. So I feel like taking 18 credits wasn't that difficult because my classes, the extra credits I was taking were not super difficult because I was taking kind of like mini courses, but still it was kind of a lot because obviously there's a lot more classes, there's still more work they have to do. So just be careful if you're gonna decide to take 18 credits, just like in general, because it can be a lot of work. The biggest struggle that I had throughout my freshman year was with my major, because I came in thinking that I was going to be an environmental engineering major, and then I wasn't sure if I even wanted to be an engineer, and then I just had a whole crisis. Like, I talked to probably like 30 different advisors. At some point I thought I was going to be a film major, then I was looking into cognitive science major, I was looking into organizational studies, I was looking into transferring to Ross and be a business major, I was looking into different types of engineering, so it was just crazy. And then finally I talked to some people, and I talked to a lot of different alumni, which was probably the best advice I could give anyone, is talk to people in that field and see what interests you. Another thing obviously is, as I mentioned earlier, I tried way too many things going to my first semester. I joined like 8 different student orgs. I was trying to volunteer every other day. I was trying to join different sports teams. I had to remind myself that this was in high school. In high school, a club meets for 30 minutes after school. Student orgs that are there to meet several hours a week, that are trying to push an idea or push some kind of movement or do something, make a difference. So it was a lot more time commitment, and I had not processed that when I first joined. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try a bunch of things and then figure out which ones you like. It just means that you shouldn't don't overload yourself, or don't feel like you have to say yes to everything because you're missing out. Pick and choose, decide what you want to put your time in, and it's way more valuable to put your time into something that you're passionate about and actually commit yourself to that project, rather than joining a bunch of things and not just putting 10 minutes into each thing. And then obviously the elephant in the room is coronavirus! Coronavirus hit in March. So basically the way that COVID happened for me was I went to my spring break, just chilling. I was like, get a week off. I'm almost done school, This summer, I was supposed to go study abroad in Argentina and complete my Physics 2 credit. I was going to be there for 6 weeks with my best friend. And then after that, I was going to go travel to Europe with my family, which includes my mom, my sister. And we were going to go to France and do a little road trip around there. And we've been waiting forever to do that. And then I was going to go to Liberia to help work on these workshops with Society of Women Engineers. So I was really excited to do all these things, and then I go into my spring break, I get my wisdom teeth out. It was not the best time of my life, I'm just chilling, and I come back for 3 days, and then classes are canceled for the rest of the semester, and it was just a wild ride. And so obviously I had to say bye to all my friends really fast. It was really sad. Like, my friend Richa was going back to California, so I'm not even going to see her until September, hopefully September. And just a lot of things, like my friend Zara lives in Ohio, my friend Shiva lives in Maryland, and there's just so many other people, and they're all over the country, and so I'm not even gonna be able to see them. Even my friend Roxy, who lives 30 minutes away from me, obviously can't really see her right now, and so it's just been really sad. But I guess also this time is really nice because there's a lot of reflection going on. But yes, that's how my second semester ended at the University of Michigan, which is kind of crazy. Definitely did not see that coming. So now moving into some of the tips I have for students who are entering their freshman year. I would recommend avoiding taking 18 credits. I guess if you really think you can handle it, but to be honest, maybe take 18 credits later on in your college career. I'm definitely not taking 18 credits next semester. I don't know why I did it twice this year, but Don't take 18 credits. It's not necessary. A lot of those credits that I end up taking don't even count for anything except for electives. If you do want to take 18 credits, take classes that you're interested in. So my astro class, like I definitely don't regret taking that. Towards the end I didn't really like it, but I did like learning about black holes, so there were some good parts to it. The dance class I took this semester, I definitely don't regret taking that. So if you are going to be taking 18 credits, make sure it's worth your time and you're not just piling things on just to have them and just to say that you were taking 18 credits, because it's not worth it. And then another tip I have is make sure you plan out your lunchtime and then find people to eat with, because this isn't like high school where everyone has lunch at the same time and you're all meeting in the cafeteria. No, those were the good old days, dude. Like in college, you have to text people, call people, find when people are eating lunch, because it's likely that they're not going to be eating it. Your friends aren't going to be eating lunch at the same time as you. You obviously can go into a dining hall, and most people are freshmen, so you can make friends that way too. But sometimes that can be intimidating, and so just make sure that try not to eat lunch alone every day. Obviously sometimes it happens, you'll be studying and eating lunch, but also try to make sure that you're planning a time where you're actually reaching out to your friends, you guys are having lunch together, because it's a nice break from doing your work and things. Another tip I have is make sure you try new things. Like even if you don't think that this is gonna be useful to you in any single way, like just try it anyways. I mean, knitting, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I did knit in middle school. I was like, but like, just, you know, different things, like getting into backpacking, getting into hiking, getting into, I don't know, water polo, like just try different things. I definitely want to try more new things, and college is a time to experience, to discover who you are, so definitely make sure you're just trying a bunch of new things. Also, just talk to everyone. Everyone is new. Like, you know, like a lot of people are coming in, they're coming to a place where they've never been before, they don't have a lot of friends there, so it's just a great opportunity to make friends, meet new people. Like you just never know. Also, like these people might end up being like CEOs of some companies, and it'd be nice to be like, oh hey, remember like we were roommates, we were neighbors, we were hall mates, whatever. And you know, like you never know what happens. So just try to talk to everyone, talk to people in the dining hall, talk to people in your classes. College classes can be hard, so it's always nice to have a few people to rely on and be like, hey, like what'd you get on this homework, you know? Also, to include with that, make sure you leave your dorm room open. Okay, that's not like not leave it open all the time, but when you're in there, just leave it open, because it creates a much more friendly atmosphere in your hall, and so it allows you to like meet your neighbors more, find people who are living in your dorm and everything. So it's just like really beneficial to have your door open, at least in the beginning of the semester, because that's how you're going to make friends the easiest and fastest way. Those are all my tips. Just in general, make sure you have fun, don't overthink it. College is different for everyone, obviously. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.